So what we have here is a kid's razor, four-wheeler. What impressed me most about this at the flea market, where Mike picked it up, was that it has rubber wheels that are inflatable, not plastic Power Wheel stuff. It actually has a pretty decent motor here. It's a 24 volt, 350 watt, which is like, I don't know, maybe a quarter of a horsepower or something like that, but it gets up and goes. It's got a built-in little transmission. The whole body, disc brake, the whole body is metal with suspension. And well, I'm going to take the body off and show you what we're going to do. All right, so I have done the bajillion things needed to get this top off. Mainly disassembling the handlebars and unplugging all the electronics. One thing that I will say, can't stress enough, when you start unplugging the electronics, before you do so, label each connector. Just give it a number so that you'll be able to hook it all back up again. Because I have found finding the wiring diagrams for these things to be a bit tricky, almost always in Chinese, and which I do not speak. So it can be a bit of a challenge. So rather than make it difficult, be smart about it. So what Mike and I were discussing on doing with this, because it does have looks like a inch or 3/4 of an inch by inch and a quarter maybe tubing here as the kind of the frame. We were saying that you could cut the frame here and then extend it. So those are just the two pieces, and we could weld in and probably will more sturdier supports, but basically by cutting it here and here we can extend this out. And what I was suggesting that we do was basically make it so that he sits lower to the ground, even though he complained about his back. But it sits lower to the ground where the seat would be like right here. So we could make some kind of a cool back piece here, or a big boiler engine, or we also were talking about making this a fallout vehicle. But just by doing that and extending this, say, a foot to 2 feet, you have a whole different vehicle at your disposal there. And really that's all you have to do. Obviously you would have quite a bit more to do with this, to use this body, but we will tackle that part when we get there. You can also be surprised what I believe you can do with some 5-gallon buckets. So anyway, that will come later. Right now we're gonna continue to cut and disassemble and make this monstrosity a cool vehicle. And Sophie says hi. So we're testing what are we calling this now? The American Racer.
Yeah.
So kind of like Speed Racer, but we're testing out how it works under Mike's weight. So.
All right. You ready?
Race on, sir. Race on. It's certainly it's certainly less heavy duty than the Murray.
Awesome.
That's going to be all right. No reverse, but you have push power reverse.
Yeah.
But actually it looks really good. You got a little bit of suspension there, and it rides around pretty good for a little kid's
Barbie.
for a
Barbie quad.
For a little kid's quad, that is pretty darn snazzy. I think if if we did up it from a 450 watt motor to
Oh,
like
yeah.
a 1,000 or 1,800 watt motor, that would be sick.
Yeah, we would have to work on the steering a little bit better though.
Steering
Steering's
schmearing.
overrated.
It's like brakes. I mean, you
Yeah.
got a brake,
Well,
so
yeah, it
therefore
needs
you don't
brakes.
need steering.
That's right.
Normally these things don't have brakes, so, you know.
This one does. Thank God.
All right.
All right.